We need to respond to God of the impossible. And this responding is the critical step. The critical step if we want to see the miracle. It's not enough to just look to this God. We need to respond to Him. And so how do we respond? Well, from this story, we can learn a couple of things. Firstly, and the key way to respond to God, before you can even respond, you've got to hear the voice of God. In verse 29, Jesus said, "Come." This single word that Jesus spoke made all the difference. You see, this is the key word. It's not the word that actually matters, but why He said what He said. And basically, Jesus is saying to Peter, I give you permission now. I give you permission. Let's do it. This miracle that you seek, this impossible thing that you want, I'm telling you, let's do it. Wow, what an incredible thing. And I want to help us understand this. We have to understand the difference. There's a difference between when God declares a miracle unilaterally and when God is seeking our partnership in releasing a miracle. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you look back in the Bible, let's say, for example, Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, the part where God said, "Let there be light." And what happened after that? Did Kentucky Fried Chicken appear? No. Did something else appear? No. There was light. God created light. This universe, suddenly there was light. God just spoke it. Now, God did not have a meeting in heaven with His angels. Guys, it's okay if we have some light. Can I have your vote poll, please? We'll do a survey. Are you all behind this thing? Is it okay with you guys? And I need your help. Did God do any of those things? No. God just said, I want light. Let there be light. And there was light. It was a unilateral decision. God just released the miracle because He wanted it. But there are other times. There are other times in which God says, hey guys, I could do this miracle, but I want you to partner with me. I'm looking for people of faith. I'm looking for people who's going to trust me on this thing. I'm looking for you to join me in this. I'm ready to release the miracle, but I'm looking for you to believe for that miracle. And that's what God does at different times, and that's exactly what God was doing with Peter. So for that to happen, we need to hear. The Bible tells us in a story in the book of Exodus, in chapter 17, and verse 9 to 14. And this is a story when the Israelites, they had to fight against the Amalekites. And Joshua, the young man, the young general of a man, he was fighting the battle in the valley below. And Moses said he will intercede on behalf of Joshua and the army that's fighting against the Amalekites. And Moses knew from God, the Bible didn't record it exactly, but it must surely be God giving him the instruction. So Moses will hold up his staff. Somebody got to give me a staff one day. Maybe this might help me in my intercession. And anyway, he held up his staff in intercession. And the Bible said whenever he held up his staff, Joshua was winning the battle. But how many know Moses is pretty old, right? So after a while, how many of you ever tried holding up your arms? You want to try that, guys? You hold up your arms. You want to have a go, guys? And all right. If you hold up your arms, after 5 minutes, you start to ache. Some of you say, I can't even hold up a minute. But anyway, but after an hour, I tell you what, your arms feel like it's going to drop off. I've tried, not the staff, but something else. I had to hold up, people to fix something. But after, 10 or 20 minutes, my arms, oh, wow. And after an hour, it's like somebody's going to saw your arm off, that kind of thing. And so here was Moses. You can imagine how it was. He's interceding. He's like, oh, God, I think this, maybe I said the wrong thing, God, when I said I'll hold up my staff in the session. I'm regretting this. And so whenever he lowered his arm, the Bible says Joshua began to lose the battle. And so he had some other assistants who got smart. They said, okay, Moses, we're going to help you. You sit down. You sit down on the stone right here. I hope this thing doesn't break. I have tables break on me before. And so you sit down and we'll hold your hand. So they upheld his hand. They supported him. They supported him in the staff. And until Joshua won the battle. If God was involved in all this, Why did God put Moses through such strain? I mean, God had pity on Moses. He must be in his, I don't know how old, in his 80s at that time. Poor guy. And God, you saying you must hold up your arms in intercession. But yet God allowed this thing. God worked with Moses on this thing. And God is saying, I will release the miracle as much as you persist in your intercession. Wow. There's something about God working with us that we need to understand. And so what we need to understand is there are times when God wants to release a seed of a miracle. And I've got here a seed, an avocado seed. Here's a seed. And God is saying, I have a seed of a miracle ready for you. The thing is, will you take that seed? Will you hear it? Will you understand I'm giving to you a seed of a miracle? When Jesus said to Peter, come, Jesus was saying, here's the seed of a miracle. Will you receive it? Wow. Can you ask your neighbor, will you receive the seed? Will you receive the seed? God is saying, I have signed the check. I've given you a prepaid for a miracle. Everything is paid for. It's all ready to roll. But will you believe me for it? Will you trust me for this so that the impossible will become possible?